This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Will Jewelry and Loan. When you need cash and you need it fast, check out Will Jewelry and Loan. Come on in with your jewelry, firearms, electronics, tools, lawn equipment, dirt bikes, side-by-sides, and even four-wheelers. They will beat any competitor's loan amount, and that's a fact. Will Jewelry and Loan guarantees faster and more cash for your loan than any other company in the area. They have your cash you need fast. Check them out today on their Facebook page or give them a call at 304-768-5101. Stop in and talk with them at 5523 McCorkle Avenue, Southwest, South Charleston, West Virginia. Will Jewelry and Loan, 304-768-5101. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of On the Limb podcast with Nature's Voice Game Calls. Hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend and a good break from work there. Hope everybody took time to honor and remember the fallen soldiers and men and women of our armed forces. You know, that's one of the things that we do on our podcast is do a salute to valor. But, you know, we love saluting our veterans and, you know, one of the great things is they've given us, you know, the ability to have the freedoms that we have and enjoy it every day. So, you know, it's just a great thing, and we love honoring that every day and not just on Memorial Day. But so we have episode 103 from our live podcast there at Cabela's, 200 Cross Terrace Boulevard in Charleston, West Virginia. That is out now, and tomorrow we are going to have episode 104, which will be airing tomorrow. That's with Nature's Voice Game Calls contributor Jonathan Fowler, as we talk about his spring gobbler season and Tick Awareness Month. So him and BJ have both had Lyme's disease, so they've had it pretty rough this year. And I think BJ's actually had it twice. So be sure to go over and check those out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcast. So we've got an exciting episode for you this evening. So please welcome with me, David Miller with Appalachian Range. David, how you doing, sir?
Brother, I am doing awesome. How are you getting along?
Man, I'm doing great. Good to have you on here this evening.
Yeah, good to be with you as always.
So, ironically enough, you know, we just come out of Memorial Day, but today's National Hamburger Day. Did you have a hamburger today?
Unfortunately, I've not. I am a hamburger fan, but I have not had one yet today.
That's funny. I didn't either. I just seen that come across Facebook before the episode, and I thought, well, I'll throw that in there too. So, it seems like everybody's always eating hamburgers and hot dogs on Memorial Day, but we kind of switched it up this year. We did barbecue chicken and some grilled shrimp.
Oh man, I'm a grilled shrimp connoisseur.
Yeah, I hear you. I love it, man. So what'd you guys enjoy this weekend?
Oh, we had some. We just made some fresh slaw, and we went the hot dog route.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
We had some all beef, big, nice all beef hot dogs, and we had a bunch of kids come over to the house. We've got a outside area set up that's got zip lines and some swings and stuff at our house, and we just invited a bunch of people over and man just had a great time. We fished in the creek and man just had a good all-American weekend.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. You can't beat having that in the outdoors.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
absolutely
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and spending time with family, you can't beat that as well. That's what we done. You know, we had family come over.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just hung out there at the house. So
yes, too. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, first off, let's get into some exciting news that you found out. Well, actually, I found out back there at the West Virginia Hunting and Fishing Show, and you were like, "Shh, you got to keep this quiet." So I think it's public news now, so we can talk about it.
It is public news, man. Really, really excited about it, and some other things coming down the pipeline here for me. yeah, I was offered the opportunity to begin to write for Bowhunter magazine, one of the premier bow hunting magazines in the country, and I accepted the role, and it's been going great. The first edition, or the first piece. I'm sorry, the first piece that I had was in the March edition, and if you get a chance, hop over and check. It's called the Draw. You hop over and check that out if you get a chance to look at Bowhunter magazine.
Nice.
And that'll be my first piece, and then in September will be the second piece coming out, and it will be a story on my elk hunt this past year in Idaho.
Oh man, I seen that rack while we were up there at the hunting fishing show, man. That good Lord, that thing's massive.
So, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Oh, I was just going to say that, it was just a wild hunt, do it DIY over the counter tag kind of thing. And, and just went into a new area I'd never been. And it was just a crazy time. Yeah. It was good though. It was good.
Well, we won't let out too many details about that since you're going to be writing about that in September. But from the pictures and things that I've seen, that was an amazing trip that you had.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It was awesome.
So let's spring gobbler season just ended here in West Virginia last weekend, and we've had a couple other people on talking about their season, so we figured we'd have you on. We seen that your family there enjoyed a bountiful harvest this year here in West Virginia during spring gobbler season. So tell us about your all's spring gobbler season.
Yeah, man. Turkey season's kind of a different gear for me and my family. It's like I'm chasing these big bucks with a bow, and I'm pulling every hair in my head out, trying to figure these mature bucks out. And that's kind of like my wheelhouse, and where I'm really intense. And then I get to turkey season, and I know that's some guys' intensity, but for me, it's my enjoyment. Yeah. It's the season when I slow down and I get to smile, and I get to go out and watch my little 10-year-old girl and my wife, and then I go out for myself a few times and just go out and enjoy the woods with them and some other friends and family. It's just a good time for me.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a relaxation for you.
Oh, it is for me. It really is. It's awesome. I love to get out and preseason, get out and listen to the birds when they start waking up in the mornings, and scout and locate a bunch of them. And then I'm involved taking a lot of youth out.
Yes.
I always try to get some youth on birds, take some kids that's never been hunting. And this year I was able to get a nice bird, and my wife and my little girl, I think my little girl, she's 10 now. She got her fourth spring gobbler.
Oh, nice.
So, man, it's just a wonderful time. Absolutely.
10 years old and racking them up.
She loves it. Just to watch her excitement and her getting into it, man, it's a blessing. It's truly a blessing to watch and make those memories with my family in the outdoors.
Yes.
Nothing like it, brother. Nothing like it.
That is right. That's for sure. So how long has your wife hunted with you? Ever since you all met?
Oh, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
How long has your wife hunted with you? She bagged a gobbler this year.
Yeah. She we have been married for 13 years now.
Congratulations.
And she actually started. So she's been turkey hunting now for 14 years.
Nice.
Because as we were dating, I took her out, and that's when she killed her first spring gobbler. Had never been in the woods turkey hunting or anything, and it's not like, hunting is not like her thing, but I'll say this. She cherishes the memories we make and the time spent together in the woods.
Yep.
After a few years of doing it, she was like, this is a special time for us.
Yeah.
And I was very thankful that she got that,
Yep. Man, that's awesome. So, your daughter there, how long what was her first harvest? How long has she been hunting with you?
Yeah, her first harvest was a doe with her crossbow.
Okay.
At 5 years old, she was and I wouldn't take her hunt. She had been 6 years old. I'm sorry, 6-year-old. At 5-year-old, she wanted to hunt. She
Yeah.
saw me out doing it. Well, why do you hunt? And she kind of, had to think about it. Didn't really have an answer. So over the next year, I would explain to her, hey, we go out, we hunt for the food. We hunt to sharpen our skills as people,
Yeah.
and to appreciate knowing where our food come from.
Oh yeah.
And then, and I made that the staple at first. And whenever she could tell me that a year later and explain that to me, I was like, okay, I'll take her out.
Mm-hmm.
And now 4 years after that, she has, I've sort of explained to her of, why I chase, bigger deer. And I always tell her, you're not there yet. Just keep enjoying it.
Yeah.
and I'll explain that part of it later on.
Yeah.
So,
I hear you.
It's been a good thing for me to watch. Yeah.
No, that's good.
Wonderful.
I get asked all the time, what have you learned from hunting and why do you hunt? And, there's all kinds of life lessons. We talk about this on the podcast a lot. There's a ton of life lessons that you learn from hunting. And, patience is one of the biggest ones, I believe. But,
by far.
Yeah.
And absolutely.
And just learning that life isn't always going to give you everything you want.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the world, one of the big things that I'm learning and have learned in my journey hunting is that the world that we live in is such a busy, consuming place, so distractive, and it can get a hold of us and to completely consume us to the point where we're not spending time doing the things we need to be doing.
Oh yeah.
So the outdoors creates this atmosphere and this environment. We can go into it and we can gain clarity and we can begin to reflect on our lives and see if it's on track and we're doing good, or we can begin to see if we need to tweak some things and say, hey, when's the last time I'm home with my kids in the evenings.
Yeah.
But when's the last time I really looked them in the eye and talked to them and spent time with them?
Mm-hmm.
Am I there or am I truly present?
Yeah.
And the outdoors has the ability to really help us set the EQ of our lives, I guess you could say.
Oh, for sure. You talking about, having that time to talk to your kids. I think that's a great time for our Heavenly Father to talk to us when we're out there in the woods. There's a lot of things in this busy life that we get to going on, and we just don't want to, take that time to listen. And I think that's when we've got a keen ear, not only to the wildlife, but to His Word as well.
Yeah. Well, there's a quote that says, I go outside so that I can see inside.
Yeah, man, that's good.
And man, there's no, one of my favorite verses in scriptures is Romans 1:19-20, and it tells us that through His creation that He's made, that we can see His power and His character and who He is, so that, and at the end of that verse it says, so that they are without excuse.
Yep.
You hear a lot of people say, "Wow, why would you believe in this God you can't see?"
Yeah.
And I would look at them and say, "You're looking through the wrong lens."
That's right. Yep.
Because you can, man, when you look at the beauty out there in that morning, waiting for those turkeys to start gobbling, you see that sun come up.
Yep.
And see the world come alive. It's just like, how can you not believe that there's a bigger story being told here?
Oh yeah.
that we're a part of.
What was it again? Romans?
Yeah, Romans 1:19-20.
1:19-20.
That's one of my hinging verses. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's we always talk about, when we do our verse of the day, that everything that you can see out there has been created from something that you can't see. And that's just one of the biggest enjoyments I have now as an adult, as being in the woods, is just enjoying God's creation and what He's given us.
Absolutely. 100%. And it helps us, you look at the life of even Jesus, man, there was so many times that he would leave his guys and say, hey, I got to get away. And he would retreat into no other place but the wilderness.
Yep. You're right.
Because he knew that was the venue, man, that he could go into and get in touch with his Heavenly Father. And that's the same place that we have access to be able to go into and do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so crazy. I mean, it's just amazing,
It is.
Those things, thinking about those things and just trying to, fathom that during that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a break real quick, and we're going to talk to you about a little adventure there you had on your property with Whitetail Frenzy. So right after our break, we'll be right back. Podcast with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Faith Builders, LLC. Faith Builders, LLC is a Christian-owned and operated West Virginia construction company. Faith Builders is a shingle master through Certainteed Shingles. Faith Builders offers a 50-year non-prorated warranty. In addition to pitched roofs, Faith Builders also specializes in low-slope roofing for both commercial and residential, currently certified through Mule Hide Roofing Products. Give them a call today at 304-916-3033 and 304-474-3096, or visit them on their Facebook page. Faith Builders LLC, brightening up the world one job at a time. 304-916-3033. Man, I tell you, these buttons on this board is so sensitive. I about started that thing before we even got done talking. Oh, goodness. That's why we have a production guy, but he ain't here tonight. So, and Dan, Dan's usually the co-host. He's usually here with us, or he's usually on the phone, but he's enjoying his vacation at Myrtle Beach, so didn't want to bother him during his vacation. We'll be going on vacation next week, so we won't be having a podcast next week as well live, but we will be putting out another episode. So you guys stay tuned there and check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music, and about anywhere you get your podcast, you can find us. So, all right, so let's talk about the little collaboration you done there with Whitetail Frenzy. Now, this was the third week of spring gobbler season, right?
Yes, it was.
So you offered up your property and allowed Whitetail Frenzy to come on and film, along with the help of West Virginia Department of Natural Resources for a big youth event. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Kenny Davis and I, we had been talking for a while about how we as hunters and we as hunters that try to reach out within the hunting community.
Yes.
And we try to reach out and be influential and try to promote the things that need to be promoted. One of the things we both are passionate about is incorporating the youth into youth and trying to plug them in and give them opportunities. So Definitely. The more we talked about that, we were like, man, it'd be so cool to do a youth turkey hunt, film it all, and then here on our land we've got a stream to stock it with trout and do like a fishing weekend teamed up with turkey hunting and involve the DNR. And Kenny pitched it to the DNR, and they were jumped all over it. They were like, hey, we're all about that too. We want to do more with youth in the outdoors. So we just pulled this thing all together, and man, we had a fantastic weekend. There were only six primary kids who they won some type of a outdoor challenge thing, yes. And then were drawn, and then there were some other kids that came and they were being a part of the hunts and being part of the fishing.
Okay.
So yeah, we came out, we stocked, Kenny and I and the DNR, we stocked the stream, and then in the mornings we would go out, we would go turkey hunting, and then come back and we would cook meals, and then after that we would go fishing for a while, and then we'd have dinner, and just had great camaraderie. Fantastic weekend though. And the DNR was like, man, this is a must to do next year.
Oh, good. So the first annual was this year, and then we're going to have
first
another one.
Annual. Nice. Yes.
Man, that's going to be great. That's a great thing to get started here in West Virginia, and to keep the youth involved even more than what we're already trying to do now. So the more things that we can get going like that, the better it is, because we've got to keep this hunting heritage alive. And
yes, and two of the kids took 2 giant toms.
Nice.
Oh, it was wonderful. They got some great footage of it. They're going to air it on national TV next year. Okay. They're going to show the hunts, right. And man, it was just all of the kids had some opportunity. But they all saw good turkeys. They saw a lot of action, but 2 of the 6 had actually happened. And man, it was just a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, I seen the video, the little short video that you guys put out about stalking the stream there, and that was awesome.
Oh yeah,
that was a nice little honey hole you had there, just to kind of, it was a nice little deep hole did them fish just stay right in there and hang out?
Yeah, well. What you saw, I created 7 of those.
Oh, really?
I created 1 for each kid.
Nice.
So they would have their own area. And I took them out a little bit, showed them a little bit about fly fishing, and showed them a little bit about how to handle trout and how to release them and everything. And then some of the trout that would like swallow the hook or not make it, we would take them. We took them up. Kenny showed them how to fillet them out and how to prepare them and how to cook them. And it was, and then the turkeys, we took them and showed them how to take the meat off of the turkey and how to prepare it. We tried to make it full circle for them. Yeah. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. It's almost like an experience hunt. We talk to these guide companies all the time, and they have what they call an experience hunt. And they bring, it's not just kids, but they're bringing adults in that haven't even hunted before, that are hired in, with a business with a business degree from these big colleges with these bigger brand companies in the outdoor industry, and they've never even touched a bow, they've never even touched a gun, they've never been in the woods. So these companies now will send them on these experience hunts, and I'm like, we have to do more as a conservationist, and
we do.
And an outdoorsman to keep our youth involved, so that I don't want to take a business away from those outdoor, those guide companies. That'll always be there. But
but what's that saying for for the stewardship of what we're doing as hunters?
I know
it says that we're missing the boat a little bit.
Yeah, I believe we are, because I think that those things at that level should be a step up from what you already know as you've grown from your youth to your adulthood, young adulthood. I think that guided area there should be a step up to where you're going to learn different tasks and new things, and it shouldn't be the beginning, in my opinion.
Should not be the beginning and the intro. It shouldn't be a 099. It should be
And I'm not trying to knock the people out there that live in the city and don't get the chance to go do that. That's a great thing for them to be able to do that. But there has to be more stewardess like you and Kenny and the other ones here within the state that are, trying to get efforts out to get the youth involved, and even just young adults.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So what were some of the activities that they did there and won some giveaways?
I'm not really sure what Kenny and the DNR cooked up there. I'm not sure how they selected the kids that were that they did select to be able to be a part of that.
Oh, okay.
But I do know that it was when the kids came out, it was they also brought family with them.
Oh, nice.
And we set up areas for them, and we tent camped. They came in on a Friday, set up their tents, fished a little bit that evening. We cooked them dinner. Then the next day, one of our senators, matter of fact, it came, Rupie Phillips, he came out, and he supplied a lot of food. And then the DNR, they teamed up and supplied a lot of food, and just made it a knockout for them.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Man, that is great.
Yeah,
that is awesome. So let's hit a little bit more on your Bowhunter magazine. How did this all come about? Is this something that just sprung up and they contacted you, or is this something that you've been chasing?
Well, honestly, it wasn't something I was chasing.
Nice.
I do chase things when I'm passionate about it, because I like to get these big deer and chase them,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I a lot of times in life, I try to allow things to come to me. And then if I see something that it's good and if I feel like the good Lord's in it, I go after it.
Yeah.
So what I did with this, about a year ago, there was a friend of mine that killed a real big buck, Jamie, owner of Real Deal Outdoors. Jamie took a real big buck over in Ohio, and the Peterson Magazine wanted to do a story on it. Well, they knew that I had hunted southern West Virginia a lot, and my background, I'm a biologist by trade.
Yep.
And they wanted to bring me in just to talk about hunting and in the region of southern Ohio, southern West Virginia. So I came into that podcast, did a podcast with Peterson with him. Me and Mark, the guy doing the podcast for Peterson, we clicked. And after that, Mark Demko, and then he reached out to me when he went to Bowhunter and said, "Hey, I really like what you write, like in social media, and I like how you present things." And he said, "Once you start writing for us, we'd like you to be a part of the team." And I was like, "Man, it's humbling. I would like to do that." And I told him about I'm working on a couple books. One of them's called The Process of an Appalachian Bowhunter. And I was telling him about that. And he said, and I told him I would really like to write for Bowhunter, but my primary thing I feel like I need to be working on are the books. And he said, "Well, if you can write for us, we can help you and promote your books that you're working on."
Wow.
And I just thought that marrying those together, I thought just made all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of like you got the witness there on the inside on that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
It was pretty humbling thing. Yeah.
So what podcast was that? We'll tag them in our description.
Oh, what was that now?
What podcast was that with Mark?
Oh, that podcast was from Peterson Bow Hunting.
Oh, okay.
You could probably look up. That's when he was with Peterson.
Gotcha.
And then he switched jobs and went over to Bowhunter. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
The Peterson thing was a piece on a deer that Jamie from Real Deal Outdoors took. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. We'll tag them in our description. I just want to everything we talk about. We try to give a shout out to those people, and so people can go check that out. You know, that's one of the things
his name's Mark Demko.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, man. Well, we sure appreciate you coming on this evening, man. And you know, it's always a pleasure having you on. We had you on out there at the Breathe Wine and Culture Company here in Cross Lanes when we had our live podcast. And
oh yeah, it was awesome. Had a great time.
We're going to have another one of those soon. They just opened up a Huntington location, so.
Nice.
That's in Huntington, West Virginia here, and their new location just opened up right at a month ago, I believe. So we're going to hopefully have another grand opening live podcast there, and be awesome to have you again for that, and we can sit and chat some more.
Awesome. Would love to be a part. Sounds great.
All right, man. Well, we sure appreciate you, and good luck in all your endeavors. You're into some good stuff, and we can't wait to see some of those episodes coming out and those editions.
Looking forward to it, man. I appreciate you guys. Hey, keep it straight out there on the limb.
I appreciate you, buddy, and just let everybody know where they'll be able to get your books that you're working on, and where they can find some of the ones that's already out.
Yeah, right on. If you want to go on Instagram to Dave is Outdoors, or look up my Facebook page, David Miller. If you want to look me up there on social media, I'm sure I'll be putting out links to both of the books that I'm working on right now, and I'm really going to put a lot into promotion. So hopefully it shouldn't be hard to see it once we get things rolling.
Yeah, man, that sounds awesome. Congratulations on that new position. I think it's just great.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys so much and all the support. And you guys are always so encouraging, man, to everybody that you bring on. Man, keep fighting the good fight of a hunter. Yeah, I appreciate you all.
Yep. Thank you, sir. We sure appreciate you. All right, guys. Well, be sure to check David's stuff out there on all the links and things that he talked about. Be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. We're there. We appreciate everybody this evening watching and listening. So you all have a good one. We won't be in next week, so we won't have no live, but we'll be back the week following that. So be sure to check us out on all those networks. You all have a good one. This segment of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by AMG Network Hosting, LLC, a national independent agent for most major telecommunication service providers. If your business is in need of internet, phones, credit card processing, let AMG Hosting help you compare options. They work with over 100 national carriers, and they can help you choose the best option for your needs. Our independence means we are loyal to our customers, not a brand or a company. Call us today at 304-608-3653 or visit us at amgnhconsulting.com. amgnhconsulting.com. Phone number again is 304-608-3653. AMG Network Hosting, LLC.